Hello everybody, thanks for joining me this week for a relaxed, comfortable shave here at Friendship Shaving. My name's Mark, it's good to see you. I'm going to be shaving today with my Henson safety razor, the same razor that I used last week but with a different razor blade in it. I've put a feather razor blade in today so I can shave with that and tell you how I find it with a different blade. The soap I'm going to be using today is in my Old Spice mug that has the red writing missing from the mug. If you catch it in a particular light, you can see the outline of the writing, but the actual red is missing. So some error in the factory there. But in my mug I have got Fine Accoutrements American Blend, and we'll call it FAB from here on in, Fine American Blend. And I have some loaded up on my brush. Going to be using the Yaki Mocha brush today. Can you see my knot is leaning over that way? I have been having a sort out and I put that in a box and it got knocked and leant up against something else, and it has just bent the bristles out of shape, and I've spent all week trying to get them back, so I think I'm just going to have to use it pretty frequently and hope it all comes back together. Now, I couldn't find the scent profile for FAB, so I kindly emailed Todd, who is the owner of Fine Accoutrements, and he very kindly sent me through an infographic with the scent profile for this soap. It is a triple milled soap, so it's really good quality. And Todd, when he first made this soap, wanted a Tabac quality soap, and he I didn't phrase that very well, but he sought the original Tabac recipe, and a very interesting little story, and I will put a link in the description to the video. So the actual base of the soap is very similar to Tabac, although the scent is extremely different, obviously. Now, the notes of this soap are, top notes are lemon, bergamot, grapefruit and plum. Now, I have the box that the soap came in the bedroom. The soap hasn't been in there for at least a fortnight, but it retains the most wonderful scent. You can smell the grapefruit more on the box than you can on the brush, but it's definitely there, and the plum just takes it a little bit deeper. The mid notes are basil, geranium, lavender, pink peppercorn, mugwort and carnation. So your typical floral herbaceous middle. For a Barbershop scented soap, and the base notes are cedarwood, patchouli, some musk, some powdery nuances, oak moss, vanilla and lavender. I was asked by Steve if FAB was like any other Barbershop scented soap. At the time I didn't know, but I've done some reading around this. Lots of people think it is identical to Phoenix Artisan Accoutrements cat, but actually the scent profile on FAB is much more complex and different to the scent profile on PAA's cat. And while there is some commonality and there is a sort of common scent, I think this is much more complex. I understand that they are both a take on Yves Saint Laurent's Rive Gauche. Fantastic scent, fantastic lather. I think this is a really unique scent for a soap. And I guess it brings us back to the conversation about what a barbershop scented soap actually is. What does it consist of? And there has been a discussion within the Friendship Shaving Facebook group, so thank you to everybody that took part in that. It's one of those questions where everybody seems to have a slightly different opinion. But there are some common thoughts, some common ideas. I think it could be two things. It could be the scent of certain products used in a barbershop. So, for example, a talc or bay rum or Pinot Clubman. Something very iconic and popular that the barber would use. But also I think a barbershop scent is an imaginary scent. It's an imagination of scents that are evocative of the barbershop experience. So I've made a little list of some scents that I find remind me of my granddad's barbershop. When I was a little boy, back in the late 60s, I think the most obvious one for me is the barbershop chair. That iconic red leather, in my grandfather's case, chair. These days I suppose the chairs would all be made of a vinyl covering. But my granddad's was leather. And I used to sit on a plank of wood across the arm of the chair, and it definitely smelled of conditioned leather. Now, I can't actually remember the smell of that, but I know that it smelled of conditioned leather. During those times as well, a lot of gentlemen, perhaps older gentlemen, smoked pipes. And back then you could smoke in the barber shop not like today in the UK anyway. And my Uncle Dennis and my Uncle Eddie both smoked pipes, and I seem to remember some of their pipe tobacco was quite fruity and rich. And I'm not talking about pipe smoke or tobacco or cigarette smoke, that would be horrible, but the actual tobacco, I suppose a pipe smells very different from cigarettes, so I think that would have to be in there for me. So leather and a sort of fruity pipe scent. Definitely the talc. And of course back in the day as well, lots of older men wore wax or pomades in their hair, and I did when I was older. I used to wear black and white, and that has a very distinct scent of its own. So those are the things that I kind of associate with my granddad's shop. But it seems to be common thought that a barbershop scent should have some sort of citrus, a floral herbaceous middle, typically some sort of lavender in it, and some sort of musky base. Now Monica from Van Ule commented that, because she used to work in a barber shop, and now she makes soap, of course, but she commented that it's the scent of everything, from the talc that's put on your neck after you've had the haircut and you've had your neck shaved. The older gentlemen would always have Old Spice, she remembers, while the younger fellows wanted something with oak moss in it. And each sort of station had a different selection of aftershaves and pomades, and it all brings together with the alcohol, and it's a very interesting topic, isn't it? And I suppose, everyone could have a different idea of what a barbershop scent is. Now, I nearly caught myself there. Although I consider this to be a mild razor, I consider Henson's description of a mild razor let me rephrase that a different way. This is the medium razor, and I find it comparable to Henson's description of their mild razor. But having said that, I wasn't stretching quite so well there, and I got a little fold in my skin. This soap is too slick to do it with my finger. I got a little fold in my skin. I got away with it a little bit there. There we are, I went all quiet because I was concentrating. Now we're saying, I suppose, that wherever you are in the world, you would have your own opinion of what consists of a barbershop scent. And in fact, no two barbershops could smell the same. They could all be extremely different. It was commented that in Italy, Proraso is considered a well-known barbershop scent because they were the first company to provide products for barbers. And I wonder if the inclusion of lemon and citruses and bergamot in a barbershop scent comes from Italian barbers, where those sorts of products, you know, the citrusy products that you would, or that I assume that I associate with Italy, you know, perhaps they took those ideas with them as they travelled around the world. Who knows? Perhaps in Turkey, Argo is a barbershop scent. We all have these different ideas, don't we? Different places, but Maya Wonder thinks that the origin of a barbershop scent is somewhat darker, and I agree with her actually. She comments that there was a time when people in general were not that hygienic, and we smelled, and things like heavy florals and spices were used to cover up the smell of body odour. Now imagine that trapped in the dark wood panelling of a really old barber shop in Mayfair or somewhere like that in old London. I think there was a time when people used to carry around an orange with cloves inserted in the orange, so they could smell that rather than having to smell other people. God, imagine that, eh? So I guess a barbershop scent is whatever you would like it to be. I don't think there's any definitive answer for me. But having said that, this FOB is a very, very nicely scented soap, and thank you to Todd for sending me the scent profile through. It settles on the skin beautifully, really, really nice, and just as I'm shaving, I'm picking up some of those citrusy hints, and the florals are coming through. A little bit of that vanilla-y sort of powder scent. Very, very nice indeed. I know a lot of you use this. FAB, and the soap quality really is good. This is my second soap from Fine Accoutrements, first one was their Italian citrus, which was passed on to me by Billy from the YouTube channel, The Brighton Shaver. And this one was passed on to me by Steve in a fantastic mail call that I had. In terms of quality, the soap really is good. Now, how has this Henson razor shaved me with a feather blade? We shall see now. I've shaved with this feather once before in the week with the Henson razor, and it was a better shave, certainly a better shave than the Shark Platinum blade that I used in last week's video. I can really feel that I've had a close shave on my cheeks and here, very definitely. Do you know, that's a much better shave. Well, I take back what I was saying about this medium razor. Matching Henson's mild description. I think it is still mild, but there's a very definite different shave after using a feather in it. The feather obviously is a much sharper blade. Now I'm going to put some aftershave on and then I'll be able to feel a bit better. Now I haven't got a matching aftershave for FAB, so I'm going to use some Parasso green, some Italian Barbershop. Now what I found in the week was it didn't get me around my chin. I didn't get smooth around my chin, and in fact it's the same today. Oh, there's a bit of sting there. So yeah, just very tiny little bits on my chin. Yeah, kind of up here. I've missed there. Yeah, I'm not BBS, but I have had a very pleasant shave. I actually like this razor, even though I haven't got BBS. I think it's a very nice, easy razor to use, and if you really don't chase BBS and you have sensitive skin, I think maybe this is a good one. So there we are, that is my shave for today. I hope you're doing well. I'd love you to subscribe. Thank you to everybody that has subscribed, particularly of late. I'm up to 2,800 subscribers. I'm heading towards 3,000 and I would love to get to 3,000 subscribers. So if you can help me along with that, I would appreciate it. I've got some giveaways lined up for that time, but for me 3,000 really is the most incredible number. And so if you watch or you subscribe, thank you very much indeed. It's absolutely a pleasure to join you every week. I hope you have a good week ahead. See you soon. Bye bye now.